I think we all saw this one coming. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I give you another update in the Elon Musk Twitter saga. So apparently he wants to do a hostile takeover. He wants to buy the entire company for, what's this, $41.4 billion. That's billion with a B. Pretty big money. I think it's like 40 to 50% over the valuation last year. So it's at a premium, but he wants to buy the entire company. Now, I don't think any of you are surprised at all, because remember, when he took that really big stake to become the largest shareholder at like 9.1, 9.2%, and then they were trying to say, okay, you want to go on the board and have that position? He's like, nah, I don't want to do that, because if you go on the board, you're capped at 14.9% share. You can't go any higher than that. And we all know if you don't have at least 51% share in the company, you really have no say so. You could be on the board and you may have a little bit of influence potentially, but ultimately you're like an employee to a certain extent. Not quite, but you have a similar role as an employee. Your job is to make sure that everything goes well with the company. You got a fiduciary responsibility to make sure the company makes money. Your job is to work in the best interest of Twitter, okay? And those interests aren't necessarily going to be your interests as a board member, because again, you're capped at 14.9%. You can't go any higher than that. However, if you become the principal owner or the largest shareholder, or if you have a controlling ownership stake, now you have some say so. Now you could pretty much move and shake how you want to move and shake. There's an article here from Rebel News, a shout out to them. This will be, of course, in the description so you can read it for yourself. But you see what's going on. You see the headline: Elon Musk begins hostile takeover of Twitter with $41.39 billion offer. Now, hostile takeover is the correct word in my humble opinion, because I don't think the people over at Twitter really want him to be there. I saw a different article where they were talking about Elon, and they said that people were needing they were needing safe spaces, and they were needing counsel from their coworkers to get through the day. This was just when it was announced that he bought like 9.1% of the company. Just that announcement alone sent Twitter employees into a frenzy. It was described as a quote unquote S show over at Twitter when that announcement was made. So now that he's trying to buy the entire company and it's being really entertained, that's going to send them into overdrive. But we'll see how they really do with it in the days and weeks ahead. But you see the subhead: in an extraordinary move, Musk has offered to buy Twitter, the entire company, not just a little piece of it. He's offered to buy Twitter to take the company private and unlock, quote unquote, its quote unquote free speech potential. So I guess right now, obviously it's public. Anybody can buy shares. So Elon is going to buy it and then take it off of the stock market and make it be private, so he owns it outright. I think that's a good move if he's able to do it. The question would be, how would that integrate with what he has going on? How would that integrate with Tesla? What would he do? I'd like to see how he really goes forward with ownership if he's able to accomplish it. Because as of right now, it's only an offer. He had an SEC filing and everything else. So we'll see what happens. All right. But let's go ahead and get into the article. Elon Musk has launched a $41.39 billion hostile takeover of Twitter, the world's most influential social media platform. Well, that's kind of maybe a little bit of an overstatement as far as world's most influential social media platform, but it's definitely up there. I mean, if you count places like Facebook and YouTube as social media, I think they are a little bit higher than Twitter, but Twitter is most certainly the top three for sure, if not top two. But anyway, we continue. On early Thursday, Musk made his, quote, best and final, unquote, offer to buy Twitter Incorporated, stating that he intends to unlock the company's extraordinary potential. As predicted by Rebel News on Monday, Musk's rejection of a position on the company's board of directors unshackled him to purchase more than 14.9% of the stock. Exactly. Like I said, there's a cap, 14.9% by being on the board. You can't get anything more than that. It's like, nah, I don't want that. Now, remember, before he rejected it, he was making memes talking about being on the board. Remember that famous meme of him on a Joe Rogan podcast smoking? He was like, the next Twitter board meeting is going to be lit. And there was that same picture. He posted that meme himself on his Twitter. So, but after maybe he realized that he wouldn't be able to have a controlling stake, he'd be kind of an employee. He's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to go ahead and just shoot straight for the moon. All right, but we continue. Musk's current 9.1% stake in the company makes him Twitter's largest individual shareholder. Quote, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve the societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company, Musk said in a statement. According to Bloomberg, Musk, who's the world's richest man, will pay $54.20 per share in cash, representing a 54% premium over the company's January 28th closing price. It will cost Musk a cool $41.39 billion above its current market valuation of $37 billion, which is a big difference. 41 and 37 just on a small scale, as far as 41 and 37, not billions, a million, 1,000. It's not a very big number. When you're talking about billions of dollars, that is an extraordinary amount of money. Okay. What's a billion? $1,000 million? So that's a really big difference. Musk, who's worth around $260 billion, can certainly afford the purchase. Now, one thing people will say is that a lot of his net worth is not liquid, meaning he doesn't have it in the bank. He can't just go to the bank and get $200 billion out in cash. Most of his worth is tied up in Tesla stock. So the question would be, how liquid is Elon Musk? How much liquid cash does he have on him? Does he have 41.3 billion? Or would he have to sell some Tesla interest? How is he going to fund this venture? That'd be interesting to see. But I think if he offered 41.39 billion in cash, I'm pretty sure he has it. So he probably has all that sorted out. I'm just interested to see what he's going to do to be able to fund this, right? And I want to see how he integrates it. Are you going to have Teslas with Twitter on the flat screen? Like, how is that really going to work? But we'll continue. Musk announced the offer in the filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, on Thursday. He first disclosed a stake of 9% on April 4th. Now, that was a little bit of a controversial thing right there because I think he's being sued by former Twitter shareholders because they said he did not announce the purchase that he did previously of Twitter to the SEC quick enough. I think it was like a day or two discrepancy. It was something like the purchase happened on a Friday, but he didn't report it until the Monday, something like that. Don't get me to telling the wrong thing or get me to lying, but I'll try to link to that particular piece of information in the description box below so you can read more into it. The company responded to Musk's initial purchase of stock by offering him a position on the board of directors. Musk rejected the offer, as he should. Musk, who remains one of the platform's most influential and most vocal firebrands, first expressed desire to provide the marketplace of ideas when he criticized the company late last month. Curing his 80 million followers, which is a really big number, Musk asked if they believe Twitter adhered to the principles of free speech. Over 70% of respondents said no. Okay, and then it says, since purchasing 9.1% of the company's stock, Musk has remained vocal of Twitter's management, poor features, and heavy-handed censorship. Musk proposed offering an automated form of validation for premium, quote, Twitter Blue users, suggesting they be given a verification checkmark different from current checkmarks provided to journalists, celebrities, company accounts, and persons of interest. Now, Twitter Blue is a paid Twitter experience. I have Twitter Blue. It's like $3 a month or something like that. I don't mind paying for Twitter because if you like a person like myself who uses it in a different kind of way, if you're using it for business, I don't mind paying. Same thing I do with YouTube. I pay for YouTube as well. I have YouTube Premium. It's actually a pretty good deal with YouTube because you get ad-free videos and you get YouTube music. It's not an ad. I'm just saying that's what I do. So, for example, if I'm on a live stream and I want to queue up a video, you guys don't need to be seeing ads and stuff. It kind of takes away from the show. I can get straight into it without all the extra stuff getting in the way. It just makes sense. And I can play videos in the background on my phone so I can multitask. It makes sense. So if you're able to add features to the site that make it worth paying for, I don't mind paying, especially if it's not a very big amount of money. Okay, I pay a lot of subscriptions to random things. I have a car wash subscription, so I don't mind paying for a particular platform if I'm able to get value out of it. It's like an investment, business expense, right off at the end of the year in your taxes. But anyway, we continue. At one point, Musk suggested emptying out Twitter's headquarters in San Francisco to convert it into a homeless shelter. Fox News host Tucker Carlson said Tuesday that Musk, quote, seems to be our last hope for free speech on the internet. All right. And that's that. Again, that article will be in the description box, but hopefully Elon Musk is able to do something here. Maybe he'll buy the entire platform. Maybe he'll get a controlling stake. Something should happen, because people say we should abandon Twitter and go to Gab and whatnot, but that's not a solution. Twitter want us to go over there, so we abandon Twitter and let them have the dominant place where information is disseminated. They want that to happen. You go over there in your shoebox while we have the biggest platform as far as the way that information is relayed on the internet. You have the biggest platform. You go over there, we'll still be over here. I'm not saying we shouldn't have any alternative platforms and there shouldn't be competition, but it's both and. All right. Let's have Twitter and Gab and Parler and Truth Social. Let's do both. Let's do all. Let's do everything, not just one or the other. You want to be on the biggest platform and on alternative platforms. That's the way that it should be, in my humble opinion. And I think Elon, if he's able to buy Twitter, will be able to get rid of some of this censorship and ridiculous stuff. But the problem that he'll face, and shout out to Nuance Bro for this on Twitter, he may face opposition from other companies that work with Twitter. Remember, like, for example, you have what was that, a Gab or a Parler, one of these particular social media sites where Apple and Google took them off of the store. So you couldn't even go to, let's say, the Apple App Store and find the app on that store. They took them off. Oh, you're violating policy. And then as far as payment processing, PayPal might want to hate on you, and Zelle and Cash App, they might want to hate on you. So that becomes a problem. Oh, and one last thing here. I think Jack, the former CEO of Twitter, owns Cash App and or Stripe. If I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know. So I don't know if Elon Musk buying Twitter will also get him those properties. I don't think so. But if he is able to buy those properties, now you're cooking with gas. If he's able to buy Twitter and, let's say, for example, Stripe or Cash App, now you control the market in a different kind of way. You become more like China, where they control the whole situation. So they can't just say, okay, we're going to boycott China and deny them access to this payment processing, social media, everything else. If Elon has the payment processing, the social media, and he has the market corner on electric vehicles, he has a lot of power, and he's able to use that power in the way for good, right? He can go above the politicos in Washington, D.C., and get things done in a real way. So shout out to Elon Musk for putting his money where his mouth is and helping out free speech in this country. 100%. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Elon Musk potentially buying Twitter for $41.39 billion? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think it's a great thing if he's able to go in there and fight for free speech. And if he's also able to buy other things to tie into it, and if he's able to tie in Tesla with everything and use that for political power, and maybe after that, run for office. Now you got all this controlling stake. You have the political power. You get everything you need. Or maybe don't even run for office. Just forget all that, because you may need to sell to run for office. Just keep your financial power and ownership and leverage that. You'd be able to accomplish more from that position than from anywhere else. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.